what was it like going from that role, and after that role, did you feel your career went the trajectory you were expecting?
I try not to raise expectations and anything, because I think that leads to frustration. We idealize things, and then, I just try to do the best I can at my work and my life in general. But yes, since you mentioned Xerxes, for those who saw 300 and Xerxes, it was a big turning point for me. Absolutely, it was. I got much more opportunities to work in the United States after that project. But every role is a new challenge. So, but I'm pretty happy where I am right now. The opportunities that I've been having, especially being a foreigner, and I think we're living a very interesting moment right now. I'm glad to be a part of it and to be here talking about a show that I play a character that, his name is Joel Kelly. It's not Raul or Ramon. It's not Latin. It's not written Latin. I am Latin. I'm from Brazil. I'm playing a character that it was written Irish. They didn't change the name of the character. And
you don't play the brother who goes there for dead.
No, that's Bert. I play Joel Kelly. That's the de facto leader of the Banished Brawler. Her brother, who left her for that, is Bert, and he disappeared, and he hasn't been around for a while. And then Joel, which was his right hand, which is the character I play, is in charge.
Is this going to have like a big post-apocalyptic? Like I mentioned your co-star there about Mad Max earlier, and you said it wasn't so much like that. So what's the aesthetic like?
It's hard to describe, but it does have different references, like from the 20s, from the 50s, from the 80s. We can't place. We don't know when it is. We don't know where we are. It has a tone of like a fantasy to it, which allows us a tremendous amount of freedom, and also, I think at its core, this show is truly a revenge story revolving around the theme of family. Family you were born into, and the family you find along the way, family that you choose to be a part of. So it's really about the relationships of those characters. And then the era we're in, we don't know, and it's hard. You have so many references: Tarantino, David Lynch. People that have watched the pilot, journalists and people that have seen some of it, they have been describing it as David Lynch meets Tarantino. Great references, by the way, which we love. But it's a hyper noir, kind of. The tone is it's unique. It's something that I haven't seen it, out there.
When you mean Tarantino, do you mean cuts like Kill Bill style, the way it's
Kill
shot?
Bill style, the way it's shot, the way it's written, especially the way it's written. Our creator, Josh Corbin, is, in my opinion, a brilliant writer, and just scenes that carry on, and then you don't know where they're going to go, and they're just interesting to watch and very engaging, and the characters are very, very engaging. It's an ensemble, that you could make a story. Every character is interesting. Every character has a backstory, and it's going somewhere. They're not just there. So that's what it makes it very compelling, and I think people will be quickly they will be engaged, and they will kind of get excited to actually binge it, and it will be available, all the episodes. So I think that will be a great experience.
I'm curious, as an actor. Actually, I asked him before about the whole having all the episodes at once. Do you like that format? Do you prefer one episode a week? Do you check ratings yourself and that kind of thing?
Oh, no, I don't. I think that, I'm getting used to it, the whole thing about having everything available. I take my own time. I have binged before. So it depends, how many time you have. But I think it depends. I don't mind if they don't come all at once, but I kind of like to have them there so I can, if I really get into it, I just go through it, and it's a great, journey when you just get hooked and you want to go and you want to watch, you want to discover, you get really involved, and that allows you to experience that.
Do you feel you prepare the same ritual or, kind of method before you go into each role, or?
It's always different, man. I don't believe in formula. I think that every actor, and even talking just for myself, every time is a bit different.
So no superstitions, no, oh, if I don't do this, it'll be bad.
Well, I like to research as much as I can, actually, because I really have fun. To me is the most interesting part is actually beforehand when you're researching, when you're trying to understand the universe of the character you're going to play, the world that you're getting into, and watching films, reading, seeing pictures, listening to music, like all that good stuff that you do for research. That's to me, it's such an interesting part of the process. But I don't have a specific ritual that I go through every time. One thing I do is to sort of put myself into let's say if you're in a car and you have the neutral, in the gear, I try to drive myself to the neutral place, so I don't have a preconcept or a prejudgment of the character I'm going to play or the world that I'm about to step into. So I like to be, okay, let me be neutral so I don't judge much. I research, I study, and then
do you meet some of the people you're
yeah, I try to do everything, and it varies. Sometimes, inspiration is an interesting thing. It could come from the least expected. Like one time I was walking down the street. I was researching for a part that was a homeless that I played, and I just saw this dog on the street, and it just moved me so much. It was a dog on the street that it just was very meaningful for me. Now, is this a method? Does that happen every time? No, it did happen that time. So I just try to be open, not judge, not try to put things in a box. I think you just have to be open to receive and feed yourself with as much as you can, and then you forget about everything and just do it.
Thank you.